Hello students, today I am going to talk on disorders of purine metabolism. Uric acid is the end product of purine metabolism in human. Normal blood level of serum uric acid in adult male is 3 to 7 mg per deciliter, while in female it is slightly less, it is 2 to 5 mg per deciliter. Daily excretion of uric acid is around 500 to 700 mg per day. Hyperuricemia refers to an elevation of uric acid level. It's around 7 in male while above 6 in female. Sometimes it is associated with increased uric acid excretion, which is known as uricosuriA. Hyperuricemia results from overproduction and or under excretion of uric acid. Gout is a metabolic disorder of purine catabolism resulting in overproduction of uric acid. It also leads to the deposition of monosodium urate crystals in tissues. Clinical features of gout are due to the low solubility of uric acid. At the physiological pH, uric acid is found in a more soluble form as sodium urate. In hyperuricemia, crystals of sodium urate gets deposited in the soft tissues, particularly in the joints. Such deposits are commonly known as tophi. This causes inflammation in the joints, resulting in a painful gouty arthritis. Typical gouty arthritis affects first the metatarsophalangeal joints. This is the classic site of gout. You can say the big toe. हिंदी में कहें तो अंगूठा, पैर का अंगूठा. Okay, so this is the classic site. This is the metatarsophalangeal joints. This uric acid, if you can see, यहाँ पे accumulate हो रहा है, ठीक है, and इसकी वजह से swelling and inflammation होगा. So redness, swelling and pain, these are the hallmarks of gouty arthritis. Uric acid may also precipitate in kidneys and ureters, and that results in renal calculi or stone and renal damage. This picture is showing the gout attack location. The most common place where gout attacks is uric acid accumulation occurs from the first toe. That is, as I said, on the first toe of the leg. This occurs because the body temperature is lower. As you go down below, so the body temperature is lower and uric acid gets precipitated in lower temperature. So that's why first toe is eventually affected in 90% of people with gout. So this is the most common. Can you see the red dot? And then least red color, that is, this is a common site. And then the least common is the gray color. Now we'll see the different types of gout. There are two types of gout, primary gout and secondary gout. Primary gout, it is inherited, seen in 90% due to an inborn error of metabolism caused by defective enzymes to purine synthesis. Idiopathic is seen in 10% cases. It's due to unknown cause. In primary gout, you'll see the first defect, that is PRPP synthetase. It's in a variant form. In normal circumstances, PRPP synthetase is under feedback control by purine nucleotides ADP and GDP. However, variant form of PRPP synthetase is not subjected to the feedback regulation. This leads to overproduction of purines and ultimately leads to the increase in production of uric acid. So here if you see this flow chart, this up till here it is the de novo pathway of purine synthesis, followed by this is the catabolism of purines. Okay, so those who haven't seen my previous video on purine nucleotides, please have a look. Okay, now here this, if you just recollect de novo pathway, so those who haven't seen, just have a brief idea. Ribose 5-phosphate is from HMP pathway. It reacts with PRPP synthetase to form PRPP and ultimately with series of reactions forms AMP and GMP. Now PRPP synthetase has a feedback regulation inhibition by ADP and GDP, and thus the synthesis of AMP and GMP ultimately is inhibited. But here, because PRPP synthetase is a variant form, it doesn't have a control on this step. And that's why more and more PRPP will be synthesized, and that's why more and more AMP and GMP will also be synthesized, and that will lead ultimately to increase in production of uric acid. Okay, now let's see the next one. Here the defect is PRPP glutamyl aminotransferase. Here also in the similar way, this enzyme is not sensitive to feedback regulation by the inhibitory nucleotide. And so similar way here also there will be more production of purines and so ultimately more production of uric acid. Here if you see this PRPP with glutamine with the enzyme PRPP glutamyl aminotransferase, because this is also defective, so there won't be any feedback regulation and more GMP is produced and more uric acid is produced. Okay, so अगर आप यहाँ देखोगे जिस तरह से PRPP सिंथेटेज वेरिएंट था, वेरिएंट फॉर्म, सो उसका कोई इनहिबिटरी रेगुलेशन नहीं हो रहा था यहाँ पे, इसीलिए मोर एंड मोर PRPP ज़्यादा बन रहा था, ज़्यादा PRPP बन रहा है, सो ज़्यादा सिंथेसिस ऑफ AMP और GMP होगा, इसीलिए ज़्यादा ब्रेकडाउन होगा और यूरिक एसिड ज़्यादा बनेगा। उसी तरह से यहाँ पे PRPP ग्लूटामिल एमिडोट्रांसफरेज भी डिफेक्टिव है, इसीलिए फीडबैक रेगुलेशन यहाँ पे भी नहीं होगा और इसीलिए मोर एंड मोर AMP GMP बनेगा। तो जितना ज़्यादा AMP GMP बनेगा उतना ही ज़्यादा कैटाबोलाइज होगा और उतना ही ज़्यादा यूरिक एसिड accumulate हो। Now there is another defect, that is there is a decrease or deficiency of glucose 6-phosphatase. This deficiency occurs in von Greek's disease. This is actually type 1 glycogen storage disease. Because of the deficiency of glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme, in this glycogen storage disease occurs, that is the von Greek's disease. Here what happens is, because the enzyme is defective, glucose 6-phosphate cannot convert into glucose, and that's why this glucose 6-phosphate will enter the HMP pathway, or which is also known as the pentose phosphate shunt. And because it enters the HMP pathway, so more and more of ribose 5-phosphate will be synthesized, and ultimately ribose 5-phosphate will lead to the increase in formation of PRPP. Now here you will have a look. See, here the enzyme is defective. Because G6 phosphatase is defective or deficient, glucose 6 phosphate cannot convert into glucose. Okay, so this glucose phosphate can then enter HMP pathway. So once it enters HMP pathway, it will produce ribose 5 phosphate, and that's why it will produce more amount of PRPP, and that's why ultimately more purines and ultimately more uric acid. Okay, so G6 phosphatase deficiency होगा तो ग्लूकोज 6 फॉस्फेट ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट नहीं होगा. सो ये ग्लूकोज 6 फॉस्फेट फिर HMP पाथवे में एंटर होगा और वहां पे वो ज्यादा राइबोस 5 फॉस्फेट सिंथेसाइज करेगा. सो मोर राइबोस 5 फॉस्फेट, इसीलिए ज्यादा PRPP बनेगा. फिर अगेन ये सारे रिएक्शंस होंगे, AMP GMP ज्यादा बनेगा, फिर कैटाबोलाइज होगा और अल्टीमेटली बहुत ज्यादा यूरिक एसिड बनेगा. दिस इज ग्लाइकोजन टाइप 1 ग्लाइकोजन स्टोरेज डिसऑर्डर. इसको वॉन ग्रिक्स डिजीज भी कहते हैं. ठीक है, जहां पे G6 ग्लूकोज 6 फॉस्फेटेस डेफिशिएंसी है. So we'll move to the next. There is elevation of glutathione reductase. If there is increase in glutathione reductase, it generates more NADP, which is utilized by HMP pathway, which helps in the synthesis of ribose 5 phosphate and increase in the synthesis of PRPP level. We'll see over here. If you see, glutathione concentration reductase is more, and that's why there is more NADP formed. As more NADP is generated, so it is utilized by HMP pathway, and that's why it synthesizes more of ribose 5 phosphate, which then synthesizes more of PRPP, which ultimately forms AMP GMP. So more AMP GMP, so more catabolism and will lead to increase in uric acid. So ज़्यादा ग्लूटाथायोन रिडक्टेस होगा तो ज़्यादा NADP जनरेट होगा, इसीलिए HMP पाथवे में एंटर होके ज़्यादा राइबोस 5 फॉस्फेट बनाएगा, इसीलिए ज़्यादा PRPP बनेगा, ज़्यादा AMP GMP बनेगा, अल्टीमेटली कैटाबोलाइज होके ज़्यादा यूरिक एसिड बनाएगा. The next, there is a deficiency of AGPRTase. AGPRTase is the enzyme of salvage pathway. Salvage pathway is another way of synthesizing of purines. The major pathway is de novo pathway and the second one is the salvage pathway. Those who haven't seen my video on salvage pathway, please have a look on that. Okay, so if there is a deficiency of AGPRTase, it will lead to Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. Okay, so here what happens is, because there is a deficiency of AGPRTase enzyme, this will lead to the decrease in utilization of purines, hypoxanthine and guanine by the salvage pathway. That results in the accumulation of PRPP, and this PRPP is then diverted to the purine synthesis by de novo pathway. We'll have a look over here. This is the salvage pathway. Hypoxanthine in presence of PRPP, with the help of PRPP, with enzyme AGPRT forms inosine monophosphate, while guanine with the help of PRPP and enzyme AGPRT forms GMP. Now, in this Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, there is a deficiency of AGPRT. So, hypoxanthine and guanine cannot form the inosine monophosphate and GMP. So this salvage pathway will not work. So what happens is, this PRPP is there. So more amount of PRPP, it will not enter the salvage pathway to form this. And that's why this PRPP is then diverted to the de novo pathway. And then this PRPP will enter the de novo pathway and synthesize AMP and GMP. Okay, followed? अगर AGPRT एंजाइम, AGPRTase एंजाइम जो सैल्वेज पाथवे का एंजाइम है, वो रिक्वायर है हाइपोक्सांथिन और PRP के साथ बाइंड होके इट फॉर्म्स आयोनोसिन मोनोफॉस्फेट, और उसी तरह गुआनिन PRPP के साथ रिएक्ट होके एंजाइम AGPRT चाहिए और वो फॉर्म होता है GMP. अगर ये एंजाइम डेफिशिएंट है, सो हाइपोजेंथिन, गुआनिन, आइनोसिन और जीएमपी नहीं बनाएगा। सो ये जो पीआरपीपी जो सैल्वेज पाथवे को के लिए था, दैट विल बी मोर कंसेंट्रेशन होगा पीआरपीपी को। सो ये डाइवर्ट हो जाएगा सैल्वेज पाथवे से और डी नोवो पाथवे में एंटर होगा। सो इंस्टेड ऑफ सैल्वेज पाथवे यहाँ एंटर ना होने के बदले वो डी नोवो पाथवे से एंटर होके जीएमपी एएमपी बनाएगा। सो सैल्वेज पाथवे भले नहीं के थ्रू आइनोसिन मोनोफॉस्फेट जीएमपी नहीं बनेगा, लेकिन डी नोवो पाथवे से एएमपी जीएमपी बन सकता है और इसीलिए मोर कैटाबोलाइज होके ज्यादा यूरिक एसिड बनाएगा। ओके, सो ये था 5 डिफरेंट एंजाइम्स जिसके डिफेक्टिव से या डिफिशियंसी से प्राइमरी गाउट होता है। ठीक है, अब हम थोड़ा लेश-नायन सिंड्रोम के बारे में बात करें तो लेश-नायन सिंड्रोम, एज आई सेड, हाइपोजेंथिन गुआनिन फॉस्फोराइबोजल ट्रांसफरेज एंजाइम डिफेक्ट से होता है। इट इज अ इनहेरिटेड सेक्स लिंक रिसेसिव डिसऑर्डर। यहाँ पे भी यूरिक एसिड ज्यादा बनेगा जैसे आपने देखा और इट लीड्स टू गाउट। Patients have irresistible urge to bite their fingers and lips, often causing self-mutilation. यहाँ पे ये अपना लिप्स और फिंगर को बाइट करते रहते हैं। ठीक है, और दूसरा है दे हैव अ न्यूरोलॉजिकल एबनॉर्मलिटी सच एज मेंटल रिटार्डेशन, एग्रेसिव बिहेवियर, लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटीज ऑल्सो अकर्स. There is also nephrolithiasis that leads to the renal failure. This is what I was talking. इसको self mutilation कहते हैं. We will talk about secondary hyperuricemia. Due to various diseases causing increased synthesis or decreased excretion of uric acid. Increased turnover rate of nucleic acid can be due to increased tissue turnover due to psoriasis, rapidly growing malignant tissues, example leukemia, polycythemias, lymphomas, can also be due to tissue breakdown after treatment of large tumor masses in radiotherapy and chemotherapy. Increased turnover rate can be seen also with increase in tissue damage due to trauma and increased rate of catabolism in starvation. So these all are the causes by which there is an increase in the synthesis of uric acid. Now, let's see the reduced excretion rate. That is, there is a decrease in the excretion of uric acid. Chronic renal failure, here it is due to there is a reduced glomerular filtration rate. Treatment with thiazide diuretics, it inhibits tubular secretion of uric acid. And in acidosis, it can be of lactic acidosis and ketoacidosis. Both will also reduce the excretion of uric acid. In alcohol consumption, when there is large intake of alcohol, it leads to lactic acidosis. This lactic acidosis decreases tubular excretion of uric acid. Similar way, ketoacidosis also leads to decrease in the tubular excretion of uric acid. So these are the causes of secondary hyperuricemia. These are due to increased synthesis and these are due to reduced excretion of uric acid. Investigation. Estimation of uric acid can be done. It will be seen as increased in hyperuricemia patients. Microscopic examination of synovial fluids reveals uric acid crystals in the form of rod or needle-shaped crystals. Under polar microscope, these crystals are seen as birefringent crystals. These are the birefringent crystals. Coming to the treatment of gout. In general, A diet rich in meat and seafoods is associated with increased risk of gout. So it is advisable to consume or take low intake of purine diet. Often patients come with a history that they had a few drinks at night, go to sleep symptomless, but are awakened during early hours by severe joint pain. So it is advisable to avoid alcohol. Consume plenty of water. Now let's see the drugs used for the treatment of gout. NSAIDs and colchicines, the anti-inflammatory drug, are very useful to arrest the arthritis. Uricosuric drugs like probenacids, they decrease the renal reabsorption of uric acid and increase its excretion into urine. The drug of choice for the treatment of primary gout is allopurinol. Allopurinol is a xanthine oxidase inhibitor. Allopurinol is the structural analog of hypoxanthine that competitively inhibits xanthine oxidase. Further, allopurinol is oxidized to alloxanthine by xanthine oxidase, which is a more effective inhibitor referred as suicide inhibitor. So, due to the inhibition of xanthine oxidase, it leads to the accumulation of hypoxanthine and xanthine. They are more soluble than uric acid and hence easily excreted. So, allopurinol will work both as a competitive inhibitor as well as a suicide inhibitor. I have made a video on this. So you can just check on my channel. You will find a video explaining the whole allopurinol mechanism. Now we will talk about hypouricemia. Till now, I was talking about hyperuricemia and gout. Now we will see hypouricemia. Hypouricemia means there is low level or low concentration of uric acid in the blood. Now let's see what are the causes of low uric acid in the blood. One of the causes, the enzyme deficiency, adenosine deaminase is deficient. It's an autosomal recessive disorder that leads to one form of severe combined immunodeficiency involving both T and B cells. So both T and B cells are deficient. That leads to accumulation of deoxy-ATP. Increased deoxy-ATP inhibits ribonucleotide diphosphate reductase enzyme and inhibits synthesis of other types of nucleotides. Depletion of DNA precursors causes developmental arrest and apoptosis, particularly in tissues with high rate of turnover such as bone marrow and T cells. There is excessive excretion of guanine and hypoxanthine nucleosides and also excretion of hypouricemia. Another cause is purine nucleoside phosphorylase is deficient. It is also an autosomal recessive disorder that leads to immunodeficiency affecting the T cells, but it has the B cells are normal. It's similar to ADA deficiency but a milder form. The third cause of hypouricemia is xanthine oxidase is deficient. It is also an autosomal recessive disorder leading to reduced uric acid synthesis and hypouricemia with increased excretion of hypoxanthine and xanthine, thus causing xanthinuria, and xanthine lithiasis. So that was about the disorders of purine metabolism. So do like my video and subscribe this channel if you haven't subscribed, so that you can remain updated of my new videos. Okay, so that's it. And do look for the link below. Below this video, there will be a link for the descriptive answer. Be free to download it. Thank you. That's it.